My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay and I get a lot of questions about how to do quite specific things within eBay itself. Anything from setting up variation listings to setting postage rates. So I'm creating this series of short videos that will get to the point and show you exactly how to do any number of these things. Multiples of one item or lots of variations of the same item, then you need to be able to set up a variations listing on eBay. And this will hopefully show you how to do it. So in this case, I have got a big pile of Martina Cole paperbacks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and it's about 18 different titles within those 22. So I want people to be able to go in and buy a selection of Martina Cole books without having to go dig through lots and lots of different listings. Then go into one listing, see everything that's available and choose which ones they want. So to do that, you need to create a listing. So we're just going to be creating as a single listing. And the first thing that you want to get right is obviously your title. Now I have a format that I have been using for these listings. And it goes a bit like that. Now I'm going to be including it in my buy 3 get 2 free offer right from the get-go, so might as well include that in the title right at the start. So who's the author? It's Martina Cole. What is it that you are offering the customer? The opportunity to build their own book bundle, in this case their paperbacks. Why should they want to do that with you? Because if they buy 3 they'll get 2 free. It's as simple as that. Now Martina Cole, her books are big. Let's just chuck one of them on the scales here to give you an idea of exactly what I'm about to talk about. So 430 grams for that one book. So that means if you take 1, 2, 5, 1977 grams, and a couple of them are kind of skinny, so let's grab a slightly bigger one, or we just grab a completely different 5 and see what they weigh, because this is something you need to consider when you're getting into these listings and you're thinking about your pricing. So yeah, just over the 2 kilos. So there's a good chance that whatever you do with these books, we're going to end up over 2 kilos if somebody does buy 5, which means instead of £3.30-ish in postage, it's going to cost you £6.50-ish in postage, and that's quite a big difference, but we'll get to that in a wee second. So confirm details for the condition of your item. Now a lot of these are in good to very good condition. I always err on the side of caution, so I'm just going to describe them all as good for the time being. You can add extra detail once you get into the listing, but for now we'll leave it there. Right, for me I don't need a SKU in this because everything gets saved alphabetically, but we do need to put in a few details. So we need to tell who the author is. Now there's various book titles in this, so therefore it's various and they're all in English, so we can get that there. Any other details we want to put in here at the moment? Do we want to put a description in? Not right now. Do we want to put a price in? No, we don't. Do we want to check the postage? That's going to be my £3.99 postage, so I'm just going to leave that there at the moment. And now let's go into the important bit. Now you may need to open this section up. I'm pointing at the screen, like you can see what I'm pointing at. It's in there. But the variations listing, if it isn't already there, you'll be able to expand it to find it in one of the wee menu bits somewhere. Because it's there on mine, I don't know how to get it if it isn't. Right, then we get into our attributes. So in this case, we don't want item height, weight, width, original language. We want to create our own, and we're going to call it title. Keeps it nice and simple. And then all you need to do is add in the different titles that you have available. So I'm going to do a few. So put in the book title and then put in the format, and then you just run through the entire list doing exactly the same thing. So I'll do a few of these to let you get a feel for how quick this goes together. Silence is golden, eh? Now, although I've said this is a paperback listing, I still want to make it really, really clear so that nobody can come back and say they were expecting something different. It's a paperback listing and everything has paperback in the title. I was hoping to see one that was in very good condition so I could show you what I would do with that, but it's not popped yet. Oh, I've already done that one. My mistake, have I got 2 Revenges? Oh, I do, I've got 2 Revenges. Let's just move some of these aside so I can see what I'm doing. Right, next in that case we're going to put in La Familia. Good night, lady. Oh, and then you click a button somewhere and the auto assistant thing pops up, drives you mad. They know you. Nearly there. What am I doing? So what happens when I rush? I start getting things wrong. And then we have Runaway. But we also have the Runaway, but it is a small paperback. So wherever possible, wherever I remember, wherever I don't trip myself up, I do try and differentiate between different size paperbacks. And the last one is The Take. And The Take, which also has a small paperback version. Right, so that's our list of titles. I don't think I've missed any. No doubt I'll discover that I have, but that's our list of titles that we're going to use. So we can click continue. Now we get the chance to put in our photographs, our prices, and whatever else you want to do. So I don't do my photographs on the desktop, but I do put in my prices. So there, everything's priced straight away. Now there's a couple of these titles where I do have more than one copy. So I've got 2 copies of Damaged, I've got 3 copies of Hard Girls, and what was the other one? Revenge. I've got 2 copies of Revenge. So that's me got my quantities and my prices all saved in there, and that's all I'm going to do in here at the moment. But I'm going to talk you through what else does happen. So up here in this top section, you get to add photos of a generic nature, you know, of the entire collection, and then you can add variation photos, which you will change to title, and then you can choose which photo you want to use for each title. So you can take a picture of each book or multiple pictures of each book and save them all that way, and that will populate there. But I'm going to save and close and come out of this. So let's say I do this bit on my phone. So let's just finish up in here. So we can see our variations have now appeared. It gives us our price range. Obviously there's no photos. You can add in further notes on what's there, and then in the description, what I would typically do is first of all copy the title, and then kind of repeat it. So keep it simple, make it clear exactly what it is that you are offering. You don't want people getting confused. You don't. I still get people who order one book and then message me when I receive it and say, "Where are my 5 books?" I mean, there's just no accounting for some folk. So try and make that as clear as you can. Add 5 books to your basket, and the cheapest 2 will be discounted at checkout. There, you know, what's the postage going to be? What else can they do? I do actually have like a template that I paste into all my listings describing the book bundling piece, but I just thought for the sake of this, let's just type out to show you how quickly you can actually put together a listing for all of these books. Now imagine you had 10 copies of each of these books. All you'd be doing is putting in a 10 instead of a 1 in the variation list, so that's how quick all of this is. Books are 0 VAT rated. I'm registered for VAT, so I need to put that in. And then this is my $3.99 postage setup, so I can leave that as it is. Right, next I am going to save for later, because I'm going to go and take some pictures of this on my phone. Now I have a particular spot for taking photos, which just happens to be the corner of this table, and when we are doing these listings, I will start just by making up a wee frame of 4 books and taking a picture of those. So that is always the best place to start, and like I say, I just do this on my phone because I find it so much easier than trying to do stuff elsewhere. So once I've taken my picture of my 4, I go into the eBay. You know, you can't do this through the app, doesn't let you update variations. You need to do it through the, don't know if you can see that one there, but the desktop app on your phone. So I can go to listings, drafts, so that's going to be saved as a draft at the moment because I saved it for later, and then you click on resume draft and it will take you into the listing where you're going to be able to sort out all of these books. Now it really looks very much the same on the phone as it does on the desktop, hence the reason it's the desktop piece. I know you can't see me at the moment, but hey, tough. So I will select and add the photo that I just took of the 4 books together, and then I will go down and work through all the titles, and then you'll see what that's like on the desktop. So let's just take a couple of wee pics and we will find which end we're starting at, which is this end. So when you're listing these things, keep everything in the order that you're doing it, and then when it comes to taking pictures or doing anything else, they're still in the same order. So it's much easier. You don't have to keep digging through things and look for things to do. So within the desktop app, you can take the picture, click use the photo, and that's that bad boy done. Next one, you simply go to the next one on the list because you've kept your books in order. Take photo, done. And it's as simple as that. So let's go back to the other way of doing things. From the clock, if you were paying attention before, that has literally taken a few minutes to save it as a draft, go into the desktop, eBay desktop on my phone, snap all the pictures and get them saved into the draft. So we can go back into the draft here. Normally I would just launch it from the phone, but I thought let's just show you what it looks like on here before we launch it and it all goes. So all our details are still there. You'll notice it still doesn't show a picture at the top there, but it's giving you the chance to share a video, which might be a good thing to do, who knows. But we're going to go back into the variations, and this is also how you would edit them. Now if we had more titles, so it's all in and saved, if we had more titles to add, we could click in edit and continue to add our own, which would be easy enough to do. You can now see we've got our picture, which is just like 4 front covers. Let people know there is a selection available, and then each item has its own picture now showing the book that is described, and you can see the wee thumbnails of them down here. So again, the thumbnails, if you want to put a skew in, you can put them in individually all the way down. You can ask it to do it for you. So it'll simply take the first couple of letters of the title and add it to whatever you've put in as a default. So yeah, you can put in what you like. I could leave them in, I can take them out, doesn't matter. You've got your title, which again you can't edit here because that's fixed within the variations, but you can change your quantity. So if you had picked up another 5 copies of No Mercy, you type in 6 and then you save out the listing, and that's it updated. So if you're selling them at £3 each, that's you just added £15 in value to that listing. So it's a really quick and easy way once you've got it up and running. If something sells out, the variation still exists, so when you get it back in, you can go in and add it in as a 1 rather than increasing the 1 to something else. So there you can see all of it is there. We've got 18 combinations, and we'll be able to see our total quantity in just a moment. But once you've completed all of that, save and close out of it, as you would expect to do. We've got a quantity of 22 and we're selling them for £3 each, so that's £66 in value on that one listing. And as you get, now when you go out and you pick up Martina Cole books, if you pick up another 3 or 4, you simply go in, add them to that listing. You might need to put in another title, go and take a quick picture, but once you've got that established, nearly all the time you will simply be going in and updating the quantity, changing it from a 2 to a 3, from a 5 to a 12, from a 0 to a 1, whatever it might be. And you can do that incredibly quickly and add a lot of value to your listings incredibly quickly once you've got this established. Once it's all done, all that's left is to launch it and list it. I've used up my monthly allowance. I can't be bothered waiting 2 days to do this to get my next 1500 free listings, so I'll just pay the 6p and it's listed. And that is how you create a variation listing. Now you can use that for any number of things, but I would advise that you don't just put up a listing for books, choose your own. eBay don't like that. It should be variations of an item. So in this case the item is Martina Cole paperbacks, and these are the variations available. You can possibly stretch that to something like thrillers, historical fiction, but you're limited to 250 titles or 250 variations within that listing. So if you were putting on lots of different fiction books, you're going to run out really, really quickly and have to create a second listing, which then just becomes very, very messy, if I'm being perfectly honest. I did try that at the outset and discovered quite quickly that doing it by author is definitely the way to go. Once you're all done, you can click done. Oh, I wanted to view listing. And let's just go and have a wee look at that listing and see what it looks like. So we'll scoot in there. Let's just find her really quickly. Marina, it's not Marina, Martina Kell. So as you can see, I do have a few other Martina Cole listings in there because I've had some of her hardcovers put up. I've also had some of her paperbacks just up by themselves. So what I'm going to do now is, so I add up books and add up authors until I have enough to justify putting them up as a listing, which is exactly what I've done with this lot here. So now that I've got my listing created, and I've also got a hardcover bundle that I've done separately, I'm just going to end these listings. I don't need them there anymore. Let's see if they go. I did end them the other day, but it was refusing to end them for some reason. And this time, there you go, they've all gone. So I'm left with my hardcover bundle, which is a preset bundle, and the listing itself. So let's click on that and see what it looks like. So see, straight away it's telling you that there's an offer for this, and that's how you can use it. It will actually do it automatically when you go in. People can also look at all the different titles on the images, and all books are in good to very good condition, and choose which one you want. So it'll show you the picture, it'll show you the price, you can add it to your basket, you can do whatever you need to do, and that's it. So yeah, hopefully that's nice and straightforward, nothing overly complicated, and that you're all able to replicate that to really get the most out of your own sales and eBay experience. Right, thanks for watching, see ya, love you, bye.